Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Monkeying Around Reviews. Today we are going to be looking at the AuAg Sous Vide, model A808. So we're going to take this from our beautiful GSYX 5-shelf shelving unit, which you can take a look at in one of our other episodes. And we're going to open up the box and see what's inside of this. So there is a lot of weight to this. That's the first thing I noticed when picking up this box. It's also pretty tight. So we're going to try to get this off. It slides open. So the first thing in here is a piece of foam to protect everything inside. There is an instruction manual. And then there is the Sous Vide machine itself in a plastic bag, which we will open up. And here's the unit itself. And then a pretty beefy power cord. Nothing else in here? Nope, that is it. The one thing to notice on this power cord, there is what they call a leakage protection switch. It's also known as a GFI or GFCI. So basically, if something happens, water gets into an area where it's not supposed to, or there's an issue with the power, it'll trip. To reset it, there's just a button here, and there's a test button here, just like the buttons that are in your kitchen or in your bathroom. The unit is pretty big, and like I said, it has some weight to it. What this basically is, it's a heating element. This giant clip lets you attach it onto your pot, and then up here there's going to be a touch screen, which you can't see right now because it's all off, and then this here is a rotating dial. Now the reasoning for the rotating dial is when this is sitting in some really hot water, you don't want to sit here and go through the buttons a lot. So what it is you can use the buttons for your initial setting, and then this dial lets you tweak in what you want, so you're not putting your hands over the hot water for a long period of time. So they say this unit is within 0.1 degrees Fahrenheit for the recipes. It also says that there's 30 recipes built in by just moving around this dial and selecting what you want. That way you don't have to remember what the temperature and time is for each thing. So if you want to put in fish, there's a fish setting. You want to put in chicken, there's a chicken setting, and so on. So come with me, we're going to take it over to the kitchen. I'm going to put it in a pot of water and we're going to watch how this thing works. Be right back. Alright, so we're in my kitchen now, and I have the sous vide right here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to plug it in right here on the back, and it powers up. You can now see that there's some touchscreen buttons on here. So if I hit the power, you can start seeing that everything's flashing and that there's a red light going on. The error on here actually says E1. I looked that up, and that means that there is no water. So there is a sensor in here that reads if it's in the water, so you can't accidentally turn on the heater without water going on and burn something down. So when you open this up, there's a lock and unlock on here for cleaning. You can actually see that there's a heater in here, and that there's something here that spins around to move the water around during the heating. So let's put this thing back together. Unplug it. I'm going to put this in the pot of water. And the first thing I'm going to do before I plug this in is I'm going to take my temperature gun here, and we're going to read the temperature of the water. Alright, so I'm getting a 77.7 degrees right now. So that's without any heat on. That's just right out of the tap, 77.7. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug this in. We're going to hit the power button on top. And now it's orange rather than red because it reads that there's water. I can actually hear a sound, so I'm guessing that's that little fan on the bottom spinning around mixing up the water. So I'm going to come up here, and it actually shows the little icon spinning around, and it's saying set temperature, timer, and preset to normal. I'm going to see if I can kind of angle this to you so you can see it. I don't know if you'll be able to see that very well, but right here it says 31 degrees Celsius, timer 0, preset normal. So I'm going to hit the temperature icon right there, and that switched it to Fahrenheit. Alright, so I decided to move the camera a little bit closer to help you kind of see what's going on here. I figure I'm not as important as the actual sous vide. So we're going to set this to cook corn. I'm not going to put any corn in here. We're just doing it to see how this thing works. So you hold the menu button down for about 2 seconds. It beeped. Now the word normal is flashing. We are going to roll this around until I can find corn. There it is, corn. So corn cooks at 140 degrees and it takes 15 minutes. Alright, so it's been about 10 minutes, not the 15 that it said that corn will take. So I guess faster is better. Right now we see that there's a green light on here. Let me turn the pot a little bit so maybe you can see it a lot better. Well, the green light's now become a amber. So what's happening is it reached 140 degrees. So when that there's the green light again. So when the green light comes on, that means that it has reached the temperature that it's supposed to be. Let me see if you can get that a little better. This is keeping it at the correct temperature. So whenever the amber light comes on, that means it's dropped below the 140 and it's heating it back up to the 140, which now it's green again. So if I take a look at the top, it says 140.0 Fahrenheit, which is its desired temperature. And when that hits amber again and I look, 139.1. So it's keeping it to the temperature where it needs to. It's not keeping the heater on constantly when it's not needing the heat, but when it drops down, it'll heat it back up. So I'm going to take my heat gun again and we're going to check. So we should be right around 139, 140 because we're going on and off with the green and the amber. And if I take my heat gun and I check the temperature, I am at 138. So my heat gun is saying it's within about a 2 degree difference of what this is saying. So obviously my heat gun may be a little off, or this could be a little off, but it's only 2 degrees, which isn't a lot. So if I check it again, like if I go straight down into the water, it says 139.4. So now it's actually a half a degree off. So now that I say that, it's not 2 degrees off, it's within a degree. So the information that's on here is correct. It's matching pretty much what is on my heat gun. All in all, I think the AuAg has done exactly what it says it's supposed to do. We have put it in the water, set it to a certain temperature that it wants to be for cooking corn, and it made it to that temperature. We checked the temperature with my heat gun and it was within 1 degree of what the sensor up here, or what the readout up here was saying. So I'm pretty sure this is doing what it says it's supposed to be doing. It's very simple to use. Obviously you can't see it right now because I unplugged it, but there is a touch screen up here that shows you the temperature, the timer, and what kind of food if you want to use a preset. It's as simple as holding the button down for about 2 seconds and it'll flash. You can either set the temperature you want to reach it to, you can set the time that you want it to cook for, or you can select one of the preset food items like corn, the one that we did. But there's also 29 other choices in the menu here that you can choose from. So it gives you full manual use or the built-in menu use. You can select it from up here on the touchscreen, or once you've selected what you want to use, you can use the ring to set it to make it a lot faster or easier to choose if you're looking for one of those 30. Because if you're on the first one and you want to get to the last one, hitting that 30 times may take a while, while spinning that real fast will get you there. So once again, this has been Monkey Around Reviews with the AuAg Sous Vide. If you've used this sous vide before or another sous vide, please comment below and let others know what you think that this is really good for and the best way to use it. And as always, make sure you subscribe. Hmm?